How's it going? Tools and Tactics here. We picked up a new toy. I think everyone's kind of generally curious about how good this is. I really like drivers myself. So this is a 1/4 inch, it's 12 volt. And right now, if you buy select tools, like if you get this guy or you get one of the impacts or definitely the bandsaw or the SDS, you get this 5.0 and this 3 for free as the bare tools. This does not come with that special offer, but I still really want it. About $130. I want to see what it can do. I've got some shorts. I'll probably repost them because they're fairly old. Maybe you can look it up. It has about 670,000 views on it. And that short, it shows a Makita of all things, 12 volt. What's going on, comments? So that short shows a Makita. And it's actually doing fairly well. I think it was driving a Timberlock, actually. One of these guys. And then we did it with the Milwaukee. And there's something about a driver that's underrated. And if you do infrared, this is the preferred tool to use. So I started off infrared with the very first gen of this. And that's what was highly recommended. It's got the, the clutch settings and everything. So I'm going to try this out. We're going to try some regular stuff. Might do some pocket holes. I don't know. We might mix it up. You guys let me know. 12 volt versus M12 fuel. I don't think I've got any fuel drivers here. I've got impacts, but this is not an impact. This is just a driver. But we've got a brushed. We can mix it up and see what this thing can do. I would really like to see this 12 volt drive this. We're going to see what happens. So I got a tripod here. Kansas and Manzus in the house. What's up, Learning with Juan? And I think I saw Paul W in there. What's going on, you guys? All right. So I've actually got you guys up on the screen there. I don't know if you can see it. So I should be able to at least see what's going on, maybe a little bit. I'm going to check my audio real quick and turn up the volume on my laptop for a second. I think we're good to go. You guys can hear me okay? We're going to get this thing started. What's going on, Joshua? We got Rero and Budsville. Man, you guys are pouring in. All right. Let's get this thing open. All right, how are we going to open it? Well, it's close. What'd you expect? Hopefully this thing's good because it's going to be embarrassing turning this one. So what are the specs on this? 15 clutch settings, 1100 RPMs. The max power is 200 UWO, which is DeWalt's kind of take on their power levels. So it doesn't give us a torque rating or anything. But I have a feeling this is going to be fairly impressive. And like I said before, this is the weapon of choice for infrared. It is really small. I like that. That's one reason why I wanted it. So it's a really good feeling tool. Really tiny. 7 inches tall total. And 4 3/4 right there. Not too bad. It's got a max setting. got your clutches. Does it have a quick insert? This thing does not quick insert. I may throw it across the room. I don't really want to put this in there. Let's go with let's try these Kleins out. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. The quick inserts, that's a good start. I actually really like this enough. Man, I hope it's good because I already want to put the belt clip on. I usually don't put the belt clip on something unless I really, really like it. See, belt clip made it on this one. Let's go with the 3 and let's just stop and appreciate how small that battery is. Let's see what the chat says. Robert Walton in here. What's going on? Where do you get some trolls? That's always good. We like the trolls. Stephen B. Heck yeah, buds. Trolling. All right, let's hear it. So there is no speed selection. It just has 1100 RPMs and then the variable speed trigger. Very, actually. Okay, right there. That's how slow it turns. Ranging up to, that's the next speed. Noticeable increase there. Got one in between there, another one in between there. It's got good control on it. So there is no speed 1 or 2. That might be a problem for the strength of this tool. That will likely be a huge problem. There is no buttons to push, and there is no torque setting. Let's see how it does. I don't know. I'm not very hopeful of this anymore. I just realized it is lacking a very important switch here. So let's just see how it goes. This is a 2.5, I believe. Yep, 2.5. Sorry, trying to get you guys a better angle. Get you a little bit closer. Swing it that way. There we go. Yeah. That's probably plenty. That's pretty nice, actually. It's gone. It has plenty of power. That's actually warm. This thing's great. It doesn't have any speed selections, but it has plenty of torque. Enough to do any task. And it's got the variable speed. Let's see what else it can do. Let's go up to something bigger. Let's go for a 6-inch ledger lock with a T40. Well, we can probably work our way up. That's a T30 GRK. And then I've got another GRK. That's a 6-inch by 5/16. Let's see what it's got. Now, in one of these tools, I've got a T30 hanging around here somewhere. So let me see. Is this? Man, the bits are stuck. That should be a T30. It is. That's a T30. Let's work our way up. I like that quick insert. All right. I'm just going to keep going. If Vic wants to send it, I'm just going to let it go. I really want to know what this thing can do. Let's see if I can get you guys a better angle, if there is such a thing as a better angle. That's pretty good. Probably get you closer. Very nice. Here we go. This is a 3-inch, I believe. Two and a half. So it stopped by itself. That is pretty much going to be the limitations of this thing. That's what it can do. We're going to play with this for a little bit. Then we're going to pull out our infrared camera here. So we can see how hot this thing is going to get. So right now, what do we have? The back of the tool right there on the white is going to be the hottest area. And it's getting 71.6 is the hottest right now. 73. Right there. Let's use this a couple more times. Let's see how hot it's going to get. The battery is still at 3 bars. Can I get my fingernail? No, I can't even get my fingernail underneath there. It's done. Like, that's a done deal. This is what the instructions are for, by the way. No, it's completely flush. Sorry. Sorry. It sounds consistent, which is good. You want consistency with sound. Let's see where it sits now. Okay, what are we looking at? There we go. Now we can see what we're looking at there. Still 75. Back of the motor, So the hottest part of that tool is actually where my hand was grabbing earlier. If we were to go back and look, you can see my hands are warmer than the tool was because it's, I don't know, the ground is 56 degrees in here. So my hand was actually warming up the tool. So the tool hadn't even really begun to warm those first 3 screws. I saw 79 in there. There's an 80. Looks like we got a 92 in there somewhere. You can see it on this side here. Let's see what else I can do. Let's go with one of these. Let me try to catch up with the chat too. Hang on. DeWalt to me is like Souls Makita. I dislike DeWalt. I get a kick out of DeWalt blowing up. We'll see what we can do for you, man. Especially these guys with 12-inch fasteners for 12-volt drills, LOL. Is that the DeWalt Souls doesn't like? No, Souls does not like the one with the chuck. This is just the driver. But yeah, either way, his hand is too big to, you know, grab the tool. So, I mean, it's got no balls. It's going to run hot. No, it's really not bad. What else we got? Yeah, the 850 is the way to go. Okay, let's get back to it. Nice thing about the meter is you don't need to put the crosshairs on the spot. The right side of the graph tells you the hottest to the lowest. The white is the hot spot. Yes. Yo, request by Juan. All right, let's get this T40 6-inch ledger lock on the end grain here. Let's see here. Have to show you a couple more goodies that I bought today. If it can do this, man, it's powerful enough. Oops, sorry, slipped. It can do it easily. I just keep slipping. Try again. The head is still going. Oh, stop that time. I don't feel the heat, but I bet you the battery. Oh, the battery's down 1 bar. All right, now what you've all been waiting for. I'm going to throw a 5 on this. See if it'll do it. Remember, this is a 12-volt tool. Here we go. Oh, man, this is... Let's see. No, that stopped at 4 1/4 of an inch to go. Let's see if it can finish the job. It is not going to do it. It's lacking the transmission. But it's still a very powerful tool. What do we got? 93, 103, 127, 134. 130, 142. $132. Okay, so we haven't been nice to this, right? This is right out of the box. Let me get this out of there so I don't hook it on my stuff later. Okay. Let's see if it consistently drives these the same way that it did before. Or did we damage it? So we were running this flat several times in a row. That needs to be a T30. Here we go. Uh-oh. See if we can get another one. Actually, yeah, this battery's not okay, it's still stopping. And put it back this way. $115. On this side, it's a lot cooler than this side. $124. But actually cooled it down. So it's cooled down running a fairly large lag on what you would call normal load, because as this tool spins, the fan moves. What really heated this thing up was the lock rotor condition, where the motor wasn't able to spin and it was spiking up the amperage. That's what happens whenever you first start on a motor, is that the amperage spikes up and then it kind of levels back out. I'm sure Paul W. would like me to draw that on the whiteboard. Sorry guys, I had to order some dinner. What did I miss? This thing here actually cooled down after being abused, running that fairly large lag, not even designed for it. It's a nice tool, man. It's nice and compact. This is the one I'm going to take with me on inspection. I'm going to throw this in the car. I might have to charge it every 2 weeks. It's got a nice ring light on it. Or not a ring light, but it's tri-light around the collet there. Doesn't have all the transmission settings and stuff. It's just a very simple driver. Really no bells or whistles, but definitely has enough power to do whatever you'd need to do at a house, pretty much. Let's see if we can drill with it. Let's get a paddle bit. Hang on. Other side. It's 1.25 inches. Really, a 5/8 would get the job done for electrical. This is not nice for this tool. Right there, maybe. Yeah. There we go. Nope. It's not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. Let's see what this old Milwaukee can do. No, can't do it either. Nope, it's not going to do it. So where does it stand as far as usability? We don't know yet. We got to try one more thing. It's got to do pocket holes because this seems like a woodworker's dream to have, being just small and compact. And I don't know. If it can't do this, we got a huge problem. Oh no, it's nice. Well, that's good. Trying to get you a better angle. I don't know. It's light. It's compact. You're only going to gain more weight as you go up in power. So keep in mind the lightest, smallest battery is the power stack right now. And, you know, it weighs less than anything, but it still weighs, right? So I would say that 1.7 probably weighs what this 5 does. DeWalt was kind of the first to really perfect the power stack design. Hang on. Right here. That's a 20 volt. There's your kind of comparison there. side to side. They did a really good job on this battery. What do I rate it? For what it is, I'm going to say it's a 4 point. It's a high, it's almost a 5. It's a 4.5, I would say. It's a 4 out of 10. For a 12 volt, no way, man. This thing's great. It's light. You just can't grab it. It does everything you needed to do in a shop. It buries these. Yeah, the M12 is okay, but it's still bigger. And it's not the battery and just overall, man. This is the way to go. This is nice. Front sticks out beyond this, so even in a cabinet, you're never going to hit your battery before you hit this. I kind of like that it doesn't have the lever. I don't like that it's going to be less powerful and you can't switch the gears. But there's something just analog about it that I like. That's kind of why I like this one. There's no switches. There's no speed selection. You just pull the trigger and it goes. I don't know. It's a 4.5, I think. It's a solid 4.5. What can make it better? I don't know. It's got the quick insert. A ring light would be really cool. I don't know. We got this thing at almost 140 degrees, and then we started driving screws, and it went back down to 108. So, you know, while I was working, it didn't really retain the heat. The fan did a good job. Let me try to catch up with the chat. What model is it? This is the DCF 601. I like the grips on the DeWalt, man. The ergonomics are Makita-like, if you're into Makita. They really feel good, man. DeWalts feel really good. Almost all the DeWalts are great to hold. I don't really see anything wrong with this. It's not as powerful as I was hoping it would be, but you're not going to be driving lags with it. It did everything that it needs to do for a 12 volt tool. So I can't wrong it on that. It's a solid 6.0 for a 12 volt tool. I'll take it. I'm going to go by the Skill Volt screwdriver because it's so powerful. That's what I used to use, man. It's really not bad. The best thing about the Skill is that it acts like a screwdriver. Unless you're talking about the new Skill. The new Skill is garbage. But the original actual Skill screwdriver, where you turn the... You rocked the switch on the top and rotated that kind of collet to it, was pretty decent because you could actually use it like a real screwdriver. Russ is rocking. What's going on? I like the DeWalt 12. I had all these tools in doubles. I keep going back to it, man. It's not as powerful as the Milwaukee stuff, but it is really nice. Another one that's really nice is this. This kit here. We can see what this can do. I like this kit. I almost didn't buy this because I have this kit. So let's see what this one's got. Immediately just switch it to lower speed. Get more torque. Let's see what we can do. I already like the ergonomics of the DeWalt better. There's just something about this. After using this and driving that many screws back to back and then going to this, it feels bad. Like, it does not feel great. It's better if you grab it up here and use your middle finger to pull the trigger. That helps with the ergonomics. But it's still, it's terrible. It's like, it's just bad. It kind of makes me want to try this one out. This is a little bit better because it's got the contour here. Holy crap, man. It's been a long time since I held a really nice DeWalt. I used to really, really, really like this thing. I still really like it, but holy man. Holy crap. This is great. Look where the button sits when you're holding it. So you can just reach up there. Look where the button sits when you hold it. I'll choke down on it. That's just where it sits. So ergonomics is like 9 out of 10 on that. See what this thing's got. All right. It's got power to spare for sure with the speed selector. It's definitely got more power. Come on, bud. Let's do the paddle bit. And it's got a lot more power. Let's see what's got in high speed. I keep flipping that for reverse because I'm used to pushing that button. See what we got. We got 85. And 85. What's kind of cool is as you run these, the fan cools them down. Give me. Let's see here. We dropped it about 2 degrees. You can see it's getting colder. We were at 95. So just like Tools of Souls mentioned with the impacts and all that, you know, the fan is what's going to cool the tool. So you're better not just sitting there just banging on the anvil. Let me try to catch up with the chat. Oh my God, really nothing beats a DeWalt. Yeah. What's the battery life? So this is the battery. Let me see here. We had the 5. The battery life's not the best, right? I'm not going to pretend like it's great. The battery life is kind of what it is. It's older technology that they've crammed into a small case. But if you recall, at one point we had 2 bars on this, and it went back up to 3 just because we, you know, kind of stopped using it. The battery life is not as good as the Milwaukee's. It's just not going to do it. And you are going to get slightly less power. But you get really well-made tools that are very ergonomic and just kind of better thought out, right? Milwaukee doesn't have a choice on ergonomics because they're stuck with this. So, and I kind of forgot how bad this felt because I switched to Milwaukee recently. Didn't have any DeWalt's, but I've kind of always wanted to try this out. And after driving a bunch of screws and then going back to this, it's kind of upsetting how bad this feels. It's really bad. Like, it's really not good at all. If you get a chance and you can feel these two together, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just big. It's a big handle. And this is probably the most ergonomic one that I've felt. This is one of my favorites because the battery's down here, so it's not really a factor. And you get a lot of power. The magnet's nice, right? And then Milwaukee's got the best battery tech out of the 12-volt world there. You got the high output. And these things last a long time. So I don't know if you guys saw that short where I take the air compressor for the truck and I just leave it in the back of the bed and it's rolling around and getting all banged around. Every turn you make, it goes from the left side of the truck, and it's been out there since October. Longer than October, just in the bed of the truck with one of these batteries in it. Just bouncing around, banging around, doing whatever it's going to do. And we have a flat that we constantly keep filling up. And then, you know, over time, especially if it's cold, the tire goes flat again and we have to get the air compressor out. So I just leave it in the truck. And I can't put it in the truck because, you know, we had mold at the house and these tools, the motors, they suck up the spores and it makes me sick. So all that stuff is out of my life right now. I have to rebuy everything. That's why we have all these tools. And that is actually why you can see this dust underneath this screen. I've wiped it off now. But if you can see that dust there, that's actually like mold dust, like mycotoxin dust behind the factory plastic. This stuff just gets in everything. So this is one of the tools that I've kept for obvious reasons, the freaking infrared camera. But even using this, like, somewhat bothers my throat. But I just put it in a bag and I pull it out for lives or for videos and stuff, then I put it away. I couldn't take this inside the house. There's no way. But anyway, so that compressor's banging around back there, and it's got a 5 in it. So they're great for shock. They have really good battery life. It's hard to beat these batteries. But especially after grabbing this and just using it and everything, there's something natural about this that's better than this, because this just kind of wants to teeter in your hand a lot when you hit the torque. And there's something about just a regular pistol grip that gives you more leverage from twisting, your arm around and stuff, and you just get more control. I've had the fuel one of these. That was not the impact. And it's probably the most strong out of all of them. It's the strongest one out of all of them. But given what this tool, the size, the weight, the size of the battery, the ergonomics of it, it's really good. It's a fantastic tool. There's nothing wrong with this. We drove all the screws, we drove all the lags, we locked the rotor up, and then while we were driving more lags after that, the tool continued to cool down as we were using it. We couldn't have probably asked for better results. I was trying to see if I could get this thing to smoke. You could if you're doing something really stupid to it, but it's not just going to break without you knowing, without you deserving it. You're going to know that you're fixing to smoke the tool long before this thing's ever going to crap out on you. So that's kind of my review on it. I think I'm going to keep it. And like I said before, this is what you use for infrared. So if you're doing infrared, whatever you're doing, this is the one because of the clutch, not over tightening electrical panel screws and all that stuff. Also, it's quieter, so you go to an office building or something, you don't have an impact the whole time doing all that stuff. So drills are preferred in the service world for certain situations. I still prefer an impact. I love impacts. Impacts are my jam. But there's something kind of nostalgic about going back to this. I've kind of always wanted it, and I thought I was just going to get it. I didn't really have high hopes for it, but it exceeded my expectations. So Jimmy Tree, what's about? Okay, yeah, caught up on that. When did you get the nice blue toolbox? I picked it up probably about 2.5 months ago from Home Depot. I might have the picture of it somewhere, but it was a $1,300 toolbox. I got it for $850. It had some dents in it, and I didn't realize that it was that nice. I knew it was a nice toolbox and all, but I didn't know how much it actually weighed. And it's like 1,000 pounds, so it's awesome. Love DeWalt. Milwaukee tools are toys I give my son to play with. I got him. Oh, let's see here. My wife clears out neighbor. Oh, nice. Okay. See the graph on the right tells you the high temp without trying to isolate it. Yes, it does. That's one thing about the infrareds. If you're new to the infrared world, I almost got my level 2 infrared. I got my level 1, and I was working on my level 2 when I got out of that industry. And what you got to do is you got to really know what you're doing around these, and then you got to submit like a problem that you found and then explain your way through it. And it's very it's not like, hey, you have this many hours and you should just go take a test. You have to actually apply for it and present what your findings pretty much. And what's cool about these is it's almost like a 3D picture. So if you go to the dentist and they x-ray your teeth, they put that on the computer and they can kind of zoom in and scroll around, and it's a 3D picture, right? And infrared is the same way. So just know that that's pretty much the best way to explain it. It's like a 3D picture. So everywhere on the screen has a temperature. And if you have the software from like FLIR or Fluke's into it now, but FLIR is what we used to use. If you have their software, you can just pull it up and then pinpoint, and you can click anywhere. It'll tell you what the temperature is. So if you've got two different points and you're trying to compare if something's actually a problem. I'm looking for a breaker. I don't have a breaker here. If you've got two different points on a breaker, two different screws, if you will, you can take that picture and you can push this, and what you would do before, you'd look at the amperage and see what the actual load of the wire is. So if you had the 20 amp load, for example, on a breaker, and this wire was pulling 20 amps, and it was the same size wire, the same everything, right? And then the wire landing over here was also pulling 20 amps, and it was the same size wire, and it came in the same way, and everything was all the same. Well, one of them is hotter than the other. That's a good indication that you've got a loose connection or a problem with the breaker or something. So you can take that software and just pinpoint on it. So infrared cameras are not just pictures. They're like 3D. They're really cool. Don't matter. I have DeWalt batteries over 10 years. Yeah, me too. Well, used to. Battery life is a key factor. Yeah. They've done a really good job with the size of their batteries to where they've got the 5, which is right here. And the 5 really isn't that much bigger. So on your recip saw and stuff, the one-handed recip is fantastic for the DeWalt, right? So this is a 5, and then this is a 12, or this is a 3. It's a 3.0. So you got your 5.0 and you got your 3.0. And this thing puts out more power, of course, higher nominal voltage, all that stuff. Your bigger tools, your recips, your STSs, things like that. You'll run your 5 for your drills. You'll run this. Anything bigger, you can just get a bigger tool. But for what this is and what it does and what this is intended for, by far exceeded my expectations, especially when I saw that it didn't have the switch up here. I got kind of nervous. But then we did this. Two things happened, right? We did this a bunch of times and the battery dropped down 1 bar, but then as we stopped using it, the battery went back up all by itself. But the first screw in here told me everything I needed to know. Are we good? Getting better? There we go. I have the clutch on. Clutch works. When we did that for the first screw, it told me everything I needed to know about this tool. And that was that it's more powerful than it needs to be. This is a 3-inch. So chaps. On average, the DeWalt NiCad batteries can last between 2 to 5 years. Yeah, these are still lithium. So I wouldn't recommend buying anything NiCad by now. They're heavy and just a waste of space, pretty much. Let's see here. I can hardly get my hands around the 12-volt tools. Yeah, they're made for little people. Let me see here if I can catch up with 203 watching, only 10 likes. Yeah, I think we could fix that probably. Finally, a true man stream. What's up, Dro? We need the Bermuda man. You're right here, buddy. Let's see here. Impacts are my jam. Dude, I love a good impact, man. It's hard to beat an impact. I actually can't wait until... I've heard it's coming out. I think the 870, right, is going to be hydraulic for the 20 volt. And let's be honest, right? When you're buying these, I actually sold my 845. So I no longer have a DeWalt 20 volt impact. Frankly, I don't need it. I've got an 18 volt Milwaukee, and I've got an 18 volt flex, or 24 volt flex. I've got this for driving. I've got this for impacting this bus 450 foot on a 12 volt tool. And then we've got, I don't even know where it is right now. We got this. So we got this. So we don't need all these, you know, bigger tools and stuff. I wanted something just to kind of throw in my car. This definitely fits the bill, man. This thing is great. It's really light. I wish I had a scale out here. Show you how light it is. Bigger is better. Love that impact, no buttons, the way it should be. Yes, exactly. You were correct. I actually had the one with buttons when they first came out, before this hit almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, I guess. And it wasn't good. I'd have to dig up the footage if I even kept it. It was terrible. I returned it. It was a 3/8. It had switches up here, and it struggled to bust lug nuts, which is what the whole tool is intended for. This looks different because I put a Nico adapter on it, so you can put a 1/4 inch on it. So that's kind of cool. But can't get it on the no. But yeah, no buttons is better. Always no buttons is better. I can't decide if I like not having a switch. I know if it had a switch, we would have more power. But you'd also get probably a little bit more space too. They made this as small as they could with all the features. I don't know. I think it's great. 130 bucks. You get, what do you get? $130. Oh, we get 2 batteries. So we get a 2. We get 2 twos. If you buy this right now for 150 or so by itself, you get a 5 and this 3 and a charger as like a gift. So that's ultimately why we went this route. Then I thought to myself, you know, I'd really like this, so this is what we wound up with. But yeah, the DeWalt 12 volt stuff is not bad. Definitely got the best feel for a 12 volt tool around. Tell me I'm a Milwaukee fan if I tell you you're a Milwaukee fan. There you go. Look at that wall. Yeah. Man, that's about all you can really rely on, you know, was Milwaukee for like the longest time. So you know it's going to be good. Is there better out there as far as like usability or ergonomics or weight? Yeah, there's way better out there. You know, you can get an 18 volt 845 or 20 volt 845, almost the same size as this, with this battery, and it just works. They're just good tools, but they're not the best. So if you want the best with the most power, like undeniably just the most power with the best track record of reliability, maybe minus the electronics. I've had really bad luck with Milwaukee's electronics, but yeah, Milwaukee's the way to go, man. But for me, I like going against the grain. I don't ever really follow the trends, which is why you know, I don't do TikTok or Instagram or anything else like that. When I think of YouTube, I think of it like this is the place where you go to learn how to do something. And I'm not strictly just a tool channel. I got the tools and tactics in there, but that's only because I don't want the clout of being an electrical inspector. I don't like to advertise, hey, this is how much I know, or hey, you should follow me because I can do this, or I can show you this. You know, I want to present something to you guys, and then you guys decide based on the conversation or the value that my channel is bringing to the table there. So, you know, as far as following the trends, that's why we jumped on the Flex as soon as possible, just to try it out, to see if we could break it. And then it ended up being like really good stuff. So that's kind of my whole mindset on that. Team Yellow. Yeah, man, Yellow's killing it, dude. I was pretty upset to let that 845. We gave away the recip saw. We probably gave away like, I don't know, $2,000 of DeWalt tools the last giveaway. And then I just sold the 8 amp battery, the 998, and some other really nice DeWalt tools, the one-hand circular saw. We had a lot of really nice DeWalt tools. Juggle at least 2 batteries? No way, man. I agree with Jamie. Juggle batteries. Can't juggle batteries, you crazy? How do you even, you just gotta, like, what are we doing here? You gotta, is height the key here? You just kind of, I got another one. Nope. Nope. Hang on. What are we doing? You just catch them in each hand? Like, do you go like this? I can't juggle, dude. How you do this? The tool bear is the greatest professional. We almost made it through without user error. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, well, we picked up some other stuff, so I'll show you what we got today. I'm not too proud of it, but it happened, so we can't really take it back. So we picked up a Ryobi mower. $330 Ryobi mower. It's brushless. It is very basic. My last mower lasted me about 5 years in my last house. And then I threw away all my batteries. So I needed batteries. And this came with a 6. So I got a short. The last 6 was $220 for 1 6. So you're getting the mower for like $110 with a charger. Next up, we picked up these screwdrivers. The battery's up there somewhere. He's been slowly stacking up. This is a 40 volt, man. The only reason why we got the other Ryobi is because the sprayer. Yeah, it's really not bad, man. I looked at a lot of no, dude, this is Lowe's. And this is what I keep my mechanics box. So usually I've got like a separate toolbox just for mechanic tools because everything else is electrician tools or nothing. And I really like the handles on these. I bought these like 3 or 4 Black Fridays ago. And these handles are actually some of the best feeling. Up there with Klein, I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to get this open though. That's a Milwaukee. I grabbed this, dude, and I thought, what the hell, man? This feels like dog shit. How did this happen? And then I realized it was a Milwaukee. No joke. I literally accidentally picked it up. And as soon as I grabbed it, I was like, what the hell, man? They've got the stupid hard edges just like the Milwaukee. Wow. Okay. So we got the nice feeling handles. They're rubberized where they need to be. There's no hard edges there. And they're just good for all around. I wouldn't recommend these over recline or something for electrical. But for 20 bucks for the set and not 30 or 40, you know, you got yourself a good feeling screwdriver. Just for simple around the house. Pop door pins out, whatever you got to do. And then if your hands are all oily, you know, you got the grip there. They're not bad. Also, there's something kind of nostalgic about Craftsman and just having it in a toolbox that I like. You know, you can say the brands don't really matter, but there's something about a Craftsman that just says DIY that I like. I just like having them. I don't know if they're better. They're probably not better than Klein. There's no way. But 2 of these would be 20 bucks from Klein. And then you've got the smaller screwdrivers, which are essential for the toys for your kids' batteries. And then they're just ready to go. You're not having to flip through bits. You're not having to do anything. You can just grab what you need. There it is. Go grab it. And then go put it back where it goes. So that's why we wound up with these. See what the chat says. Eye protection while juggling your screwdrivers. Let's see here. Juggle them. Oh, that's funny. Soggy bread alone, that's terrible. I had to get this shirt. It's very fitting. Leftover parts, proof I made it better. It's pretty cool. Then we got a GFCI video, how to install it, how to do it back-to-back, how to cut into the wall, drill a hole outside, mount a box outside, put your connector. Actually, you know what? Dang it, I messed up. This is the wrong box. That's a 3/4 hole. Yep, all day, 3/4. Dang it. Okay, I guess we'll be returning that. So you need a 1/2-inch hole. Typical. So, yeah, but this goes on there. Then we'll have a receptacle for outside. Jonathan Hedges says, I'm not always impressed with Klein tools. The last batch of Klein tools, man, has been kind of awful. If I even knew where they were. Yeah, not super impressed with this. It was okay. It's kind of a rip. Somebody commented that these seem pretty loose. I pulled them out to show you guys once, did some cuts with them, put them back. They're okay. They are kind of loose. This thing's kind of terrible because every time you trip something, you got to hit the reset button every time. No, they won't provide a 1/2-inch bushing in the box because I'm going to be shooting Romex outside. So my Romex connectors are going to be 1/2-inch for the back of the box. They probably have the inserts, the screw ins. Don't use a bell box for an outdoor receptacle installation. Arlington Industries makes a much better box to use. I think I know which one you're talking about. There's some high-end homes that I was looking at a couple of years ago that had some really cool built-in boxes. My guy's gonna be out here with a Ryobi leaf blower in no time. It looks way better. I'm gonna check it out, but ultimately, we're probably gonna be going with this just so people can do it at home too. I'm gonna check out the Arlington Industries, but I don't know. They're okay. Hey, did you guys know about bell boxes and pool lights? Has anyone ever told you about pool light junction boxes? Why you can't use a bell box? These things right here, I'm going to open it just so you can see. Oh, I don't have to open it. I can. There. Haha, we did it. This portion here, see how it's like kind of tabbed in there? That's all metal. And that corrodes. One of the most common things that I ever did was replace the bell box for a pool light box. And this is a really common failure point right here. But that's not why you can't use these for a pool. I'll show you why you can't use these for a pool right now. It's the same in every code so far. And what we're looking for is in 680 for pools. We're going to go to the beginning of the book where it talks about lighting. There's the forming shell. Let's see if we can find it here. Installation, grounding, construction. That's the enclosures. Let me see if I can find it here. We are looking for, there's the Foreman shell. Cool, okay, beginning 680. CPO certified. I wish I knew what CPO is. We have reached the nap portion of the live stream. Dude, it's just now getting good. What are you talking about? So, what we want to look at, I can just tell you what it says because I know what it says verbatim because I freaking know this book off the top of my head almost verbatim. But I don't want to do that. I'd rather show you in the pool. But what it's going to say is you got to have one more ground lugs than conduit entries. And I'm going to explain what that means because that's just kind of a mouthful to say. But if we were to take a bell box, for example, it only has one ground hole. Actually not. I'm kind of upset I can't find it. Where the... It's, hang on. There's enclosures. Listed, threaded hubs, seal, installation, protection, grounding. There it is there. Junction boxes, transformer, ground fault circuit interrupter. No fewer than one more than the number of conduit entries. There it is there. But to know that, we got to go over here to the construction of the box. So if we look at installation, and it's talking about lights because luminaires are lights. All of this, 2, B, 1. So we're still in the same code. We're still in 680.24. And 680.24 doesn't stop until we get here to 680.25. So if we go back up here to the construction, right? And we're following along. Quite simply put, the junction boxes shall be provided with a number of grounding terminals that'll be no fewer than one more than the number of conduit entries. So if we go over here to this box, and we look at how many conduit entries it has, this one has 3. And you've only got 1 spot for a ground screw. I believe it's there. Here's your picture right there. So there it is right there. There's a spot for your ground screw. That's it. So this box, you're not allowed to use these for pool light junction boxes or really anything like that. You got to use the listed low voltage or the listed pool light junction box. That's why you can't use this. Also, it has to do with chlorine entry from the pool water and all that other stuff. But that right there is the main reason why. Cool. Tractor. What's going on in here? NEC talks about them, Jamie. How many current conductors are allowed? In conduit, there's a section has a big 0. Every time I hook up the phone, I think of her. I forgot what we was talking about. What is Joshua talking about? Number of current carrying. Yeah. Okay. How do we feel about scissor lifts? Are we talking about the ones at the job site, or are we talking about the policing pool lights was the topic? That's great. I didn't even tell you about the most common violations, like, you know, you got to be able to reach the niche, so it can't be too deep in the pool water, so you can actually pull the whole lamp up and put it on the pool deck. Or that you got to have a number 8 if you have a niche that can accept any other light. Like, you can put a low voltage light in there if you want, but if it can accept a regular light, you got to add a number 8 ground, and then you got to take that ground wire and put it inside of the light niche, and then you got to put like an Aquabond potting compound, which is like a 2-part epoxy, and it's got to be encapsulated in that listed potting compound. Nobody ever does that. Jonathan here, certified pool and spa operator in the state of California and a first-year electrical apprentice. Nice. No niche. Yeah. If you don't have a niche and it's part of a listed low voltage assembly, then you don't need the number 8. But if you've got a niche where you can install that pool light, because you think of it like this, right? If we're at a house and we got a chandelier, and I used to build these, so I know. You can have a chandelier that's the size of your car, and you got to bring like freaking 5 circuits to it, because the chandelier, you can put 60 watt light bulbs or 40 watt, depending on what the chandelier says. You can put up to 60 watts per light. And then you got like 50 something lights in this chandelier that's like 6 foot tall by like 8 foot wide in a circle. And souls can take a joke. So the moral of the story is, if you can run, or if you have if your light will take that many light bulbs, you have to wire that fixture for the maximum wattage, right? You can't go to a restaurant and then install 2 watt LEDs into each. Souls can take a joke. Dude, I'm hilarious. That's great. Oh, autocorrect. That's funny. So yeah, you gotta wire it for however it could, like, worst case scenario or maximum capacity, pretty much. So if you've got a niche that can accept any type of light, you got to put that number 8 in there. And I can show you the code on that if you want. Or we can get out of here. I think we're going to get out of here. I believe you. That's great. Don't worry, we're going to get out of here. Let's see it. All right, he wants to see it. We just need 1 vote, because I was going to show you anyway, because it drives Tools with Souls crazy. 680. There's your relamping. That's where, remember I was talking about shall be installed. The camera won't flip. There we go. Now we're flipped. Remember when I was talking about the maximum depth of the pool? Luminaires mounted. Shall be installed at the top of the luminaire lens. Is not less than 18 inches below the normal water level of the pool. So you can put it on the deck. There's that code. But let's look at the grounding of it. So perimeter surfaces, grounding terminals. Let's see here. That's in junction boxes. We got to get to the good part of the code, which is going to be luminaire bonding. Is that it? Up here, the number 8. We're looking for the verbiage of number 8. So hang on. There it is there, number 8. So wire directly to the forming shell. So if you got PVC, you have to do this. So conduit shall be installed from the forming shell to a junction box or other enclosure conforming to the requirements. Conduit shall be rigid metal, IMC, liquid flexible or rigid non-metallic. Metal conduit shall be approved and shall be of brass or other approved corrosion-resistant metal, right? Non-metallic conduits. If you got PVC, where non-metallic conduit is used, a number 8 insulated solid or stranded copper bonding jumper shall be installed in the conduit. It says unless the listed low voltage lighting system does not require it, pretty much. And then what it says, it shall be terminated in the forming shell. So he's trying to focus on my finger. The termination number 8 shall be covered with an encapsulated listed potting compound to protect the connection from the possible deteriorating effect of the pool water. So there you go. I'm going to get banned. What was John Deere saying? Oh yeah, you will get banned. You will get banned. You hate all people equal. That's good. That's terrible. What's that spore growing on the ceiling? Which one? Where's the spore? It's a hole, probably. I don't know. There's no spores here. We need to learn why he requires another man to insert number 8 into the niche. That's great. All right, cool. Well, there you go. We're going to get out of here. Oh, we bought one more thing, actually. I forgot. Here's my tool haul. Hey, I appreciate it, CW. So we picked up this. We asked him because I always try this, right? If you're spending a lot of money, like I was spending like $800 at once, right? Because you're getting that stupid thing and then some other stuff. And then this was like $350. I just asked him, I said, hey, I know you guys can take $50 off without too much trouble. Why don't you go ahead and do it? And he didn't do 50. He did 25. But still, man, that's cool. And then also, I met a guy that I think he wants to be an electrician, and he was working at Home Depot, and we got to talking, and I'll probably find him a job and give him a bunch of tools. So, yeah, your support on this channel directly affects local younger people around me, and anybody that reaches out to me in the North Texas area on email. You know, we'll probably do some vetting and meet you like I did the last guy. But I'll do my best to find you a job. I mean, I'm fairly connected, and yeah. I'm in VA. Nice. Did the grill fall off the truck too? No, man, the grill didn't fall. We laid it flat this time, so the grill didn't fall. But I'm gonna go find that battery that went up there. I'm in you. 7 cities. Let's see here. All right. We'll see you guys later right here. Well, I got to see what the words of Coochie's mama says. Finish the sentence, sir. Finish the sentence, sir. Hey, I appreciate it, buds. Stupid is as stupid does. We'll see you guys later.